What up? What up? Look, what's up? What's happening out there in the LDBC and everybody out there that supports and subscribed out there to the LDBC? What's up with y'all? Now I want to say what's up to all you fake ass fans and stuff out there. What's happening? What it do? Now I want to say this. I'm sitting on the floor so I can do that. It's mi casa, not su casa. So, check this out. World Breaker Fighting said it best, and he is correct. Contracts don't mean shit. And there's a lot of people out there commenting on what Michael Benson had to say, or whatever his name is had to say, when it comes to contracts. After Andrew Ruiz said what he had to say, I'm gonna tell you this. What you gonna do if Andrew Ruiz stick to his guns and say, look, I don't care about, well, let's just say hypothetically speaking, if Andrew Ruiz say, I don't care about not having a rematch with Anthony Joshua, if he doesn't want to have in the States, have the belts, right? What if he does that? What if he stick to his guns and does that? Then what are you going to do? Anthony Joshua Matchroom. You're going to take those belts and fight somebody else and do this, that, and the third, and not have a rematch with the guy that whooped your ass? Because that was an ass whooping. You got laid the fuck out, homie. Laid out. So what you gonna do with that? Huh? What you gonna do? You gonna sit up over there and cry and shit? Go fight these other little bums? The bum of the month? Get knocked out by somebody else? And then Andrew Ruiz probably still get the belt? Belts don't mean all that what you think they mean. The belts have the lineage, which holds respect. But a lot of times when I see fans, when I see these boxers, these promoters and stuff like that, respect has been lost. So let's get back to these contracts. They don't mean shit like you think they do. They're not ironclad. That doesn't mean the other side has to do everything accordingly, like what y'all thinking, like y'all think it has to go down. There's side deals and other things that can go down to where the other side will have to bend a little bit to do what the other side wants. It's called negotiating. So Andrew Ruiz's team, Anthony Joshua's team are negotiating. It might be a hostage situation, but they're negotiating. And negotiating involves two parties with a mutual finish the rest. Because the mutual thing is Andrew Ruiz and Anthony Joshua fighting for a rematch, right? So, if you think that since Andrew Ruiz signed that first contract and the contract said this, that, and the third, or whatever you think that might be in there, that says Matchroom Boxing has a say to pick and choose where the fight happens. Let's just say that's true. Which it is, I believe. But let's just say that's true. Does that mean Matchroom Boxing has 100% say on where that fight happens. And again, shout out to World Breaker Fighting. Even though I already knew it, but he said it before me, so I got to give him the shine. And the reason why you got to give the man the shine, because he thought of it first. He said it first. He brought it to light first. Before me. I don't know about everybody else, but before me. Said it first. Regurgitated. Did it correctly. Said it properly. And people still don't understand that. It don't matter. I can have a contract with somebody on with a company or whatever the case may be, and they're like, oh, if you don't pay this, blah blah blah. But I have something that you want. But I have something that you want. The rematch is what you want. Even if Anthony Joshua was not in control, like I believe, it'd behoove Matchroom Boxing to do what Anthony Joshua says, even though I don't think he's in control. I don't. It'd behoove Matchroom Boxing to do what Anthony Joshua says, because what happens if he has to renegotiate his contract and you guys didn't do things that he didn't necessarily agree with, that he has gripes with? He goes somewhere else. Or he does his own thing. Like I believe that he should have been doing from 3-4 fights, like 3 fights ago. He didn't need Matchroom like that. Matchroom needed him. And he extended his contract. I don't know if there was addendums in there or whatever the case may be, but he extended his contract. See what I'm saying? Crawford has a contract with Top Rank. It would behoove Top Rank to do what they need to do to give the fights that Crawford wants right now. Because in the future, that means that Crawford does not have to sign with them the next time. Then if Crawford becomes undisputed without Top Rank, then what? Then after that, after he becomes undisputed, what if he starts doing more interviews and running his mouth and stuff like that and getting all huggy-buggy with the media and stuff like that, and he becomes a household name? Guess what that means? Top Rank loses. Because they just missed out on a whole lot of money. And they're not in it for the sake of boxing. They're in it for making money. And that's the reason why you haven't been getting the fights that you want. The fights that you've been paying these guys to give you fights on Saturdays for how long? Not just Saturdays, but fights in general. For how long? Damn near like every month or every other month, whatever. And you ain't getting the fights that you want, but you still subscribe to the platforms that they show the fights on. You're still going out there listening to those. See what I'm saying? You guys ain't listening. See, I don't just live in my house. Are you understanding that? I don't just live in my house. My job, I work there. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Can you read between the lines? Can you come up with something good off of that to hit on what I'm saying? I don't make the rules. I just work there. My house, I make the rules. I don't just live here. You see what I'm saying? I cut my grass. I barbecue. I wash clothes. I clean up. I pay the bills. I fix things that need to be fixed. I don't fix things that don't need to be fixed. That ain't broken. You see what I'm saying? Now, Andrew Ruiz and Anthony Joshua. That contract don't mean shit. How's the zone looking right now? Woo! Does the zone need some fights? Woo! Right? The zone needs some fights. The zone needs a savior. They need something that can say, we not here to lose. They need something fresh in the media. They need something to say that we're still here. Strong. We're still competing. Strong. They need something fresh. And something fresh is the rematch, nigga. That's what's something fresh. The motherfucking rematch. And if you can't get that motherfucking rematch, what you got? What you got, Canelo? Who Canelo gonna fight? Huh? What makes you think that the PBC can't stop other fights that's happening on the zone that's not under the PBC brand? What makes you think that ain't so? Matchroom Boxing and the zone need help. Matchroom Boxing came out here before the zone, right? Matchroom Boxing USA, right? Huh? Ain't I right? Ain't I right? They came out here with the zone. I mean, Matchroom Boxing came out over here before the zone. The zone, and then I'm pretty sure it's already going to happen. They was already doing their thing and blah, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop. But then guess what? The zone, pops up, right? We this, we that, we bad, blah, blah, woo, 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 hibbity. Not doing nothing. Not doing nothing. When's the last time you heard the zone have a fresh breath of air, something new in the media and exciting? It was exciting for the zone, exciting for Matchroom Boxing and all that stuff to come up over here and fight Andrew Ruiz. It was exciting for them to go through all the things they was going through with Big Baby Miller and shit. The press conferences and all that stuff. It was exciting. Madison Square Garden. It was exciting. Right? But now look at him. Now look at him. Now they ain't looking too good. Now they look like they about to get kicked out of the United States because they ain't making no motherfucking bread. Right? So you got to think about all that. You have to. Got my Pito box. You know? Copenhagen. Anything less is uncivilized. So you see what I'm saying? Think about it. I am. Is fighting in the UK more important than Matchroom Boxing and that DAZN contract? Is in a think about the long run, Anthony Joshua winning, right? Because like Deontay Wilder said, you have to bet on yourself, right? So Matchroom Boxing has to bet on themselves and make this fight in the U.S. on the hopes, on hoping that Anthony Joshua can win this fight, because that's what they saying. They believe Anthony Joshua can win this fight. Allegedly. Let's put the quotes up there. See, I went 1, 2. See that? Put the quotes. Allegedly. So let's say if Matchroom Boxing is so adamant about having the rematch in the UK and don't want to have it in the United States, let me tell you something, homeboy. That means Matchroom Boxing don't believe that Anthony Joshua will win the rematch. You know why? Because they going for the bag. They going for them ticket sales at Wembley. They going for them pay-per-views with Sky Sports. They going for the bag. And y'all, you don't even see that. You mean to tell me you want that rematch over in the UK? Your boy got whooped up over here. He didn't. It wasn't no unanimous. It wasn't no unanimous. It was no splits or nothing like that. It was a knockout. And if you ask me, it was a shutout. He whooped that boy from pillar to the motherfucking post. It wasn't what it was. This wasn't like Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. This was bad. It was bad. We the Hawks. Yeah, we know what you did with Little Man. You beat up Little Man. Andy Ruiz beat up Little Man. Little boy, whatever they call the name. You know, real motherfuckers know what I'm talking about. Got your ass whooped. What we gonna do? We gonna do it to death. I'm sorry. How we gonna do it? We gonna do it to death. Y'all tripping. Talk about contracts are ironclad. That means the fight has to happen where Matchroom Boxing says it's gonna happen. But Anthony Joshua want that motherfucking shit back here. So what that mean, nigga? That mean, nigga. Then you bring up all the other shit. What that mean? Huh? What that mean? What all the other stuff mean? Does that mean what Andy Ruiz got? What Andy Ruiz got? What he got? Does that mean anything to anybody? To anyone? Huh? You tripping. You tripping. You tripping bad. Shit gonna happen in the States, in my belief. Shit happens in the UK, in my belief. Matchroom Boxing does not believe Anthony Joshua can win. They're cashing out. They're finished. They're done with him. They got Andrew Ruiz. They got Dillian White fighting Oscar Rivas. Right? What else they got? Shit, I'm out of this motherfucker, man. What y'all got to say in that comment section and stuff like that, man. I appreciate everybody that come through and watch my videos. Everyone that come through and comment and stuff like that. You know, you guys, most of everybody that comment on my page, I consider them as boxing fans. And the reason why I consider them as boxing fans, because they're willing to go out there and listen to what everybody has to say. And they say their piece in the comment section. And I appreciate that. The one thing that I recognized is that in these comment section and stuff like that, you got people that speak on things that they necessarily don't know. You got to think outside the box, really. All this inside the box thinking and all this stuff that you saying that this is like this and that is like that, is not necessarily going to work. You got to think outside the box. Contracts don't mean shit. You could have a contract with your next door neighbor he gonna cut your grass 3 times a month. and then he ends up cutting it 2 times a month, and then you end up getting an argument, but then all of a sudden he says, I got something you want, blah, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop. Y'all shake hands, and everything is okay. And now you paying him double to cut your grass. Contracts don't mean shit. As long as you have, look, contracts don't mean shit when you don't control the chessboard. If you're not controlling the chessboard, contracts don't mean shit. If you're not controlling how everything goes around the, like, look, Andrew Ruiz and Anthony Joshua. Who is really controlling everything around boxing? The chessboard. Not matchroom boxing. Not matchroom boxing. Because you guys might think that, oh, well, Edward Hearn controls everything in the UK. But where's the fights? Where's the fights? What fights? What fights? What fights are you going to get without the PBC? It ain't about it. So you might think that, oh, this guy is running the heavyweight division, this guy is running the welterweight or the middleweight, and this and the third. But who really controls the chessboard of stone cold fighters that everybody out here want to see fight? Who runs that? Ain't who running the division. Who's running the chessboard? Who has more pawns, knights, little castles and shit? Who has more? Who has more soldiers? Who has more gladiators? That's what I'm saying. Now you might say, oh, Matchroom got X amount of fighters and blah, 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 whoop, whoop. They ain't gladiators. They ain't gladiators. They're not warriors. Sorry. They're not elite gladiators. They're not elite warriors. They're not elite fighters. Who got the most? Who can control the most? Because you can control other fighters around, other elite fighters that's not even with you. You can still control that and they ain't even with you. Who's controlling the war? The setting? Because matchroom boxing works here. Matchroom boxing just works here. Most of those promoters in the UK and their fighters, they just work here. American boxing lives here. You see what I'm saying? That's the reason why I brought that shit up earlier. So if you ain't heard the whole thing, you ain't listened to the whole thing, it's okay. Rewind the tape, go back, and you'll find out what I mean and why I said it. Just take a while to catch up, to regurgitate it, so you can understand it. You don't need no reading the comprehension. All you gotta do is take it in, listen. And on that note, shout outs to the LDBC, and everybody stay sucker free.